Welcome to this week's episode of 60 Seconds with the Superintendent. Well, just a few nights ago, I had the privilege and honor to share the state of the schools with our parents, staff, and community. Let's take a look at some of the highlights of what we're doing for our kids beyond the content.
So when you take a look at this report card, this state measurement that compares us against schools from all over the state of Ohio, one of the areas that they look at is how are students achieving? How are they performing on the tests that they have to take in third grade through high school? And so we've been working on making sure that kids have the skills necessary to perform at a level that's acceptable and exceeds expectations. And as you can see, from last year to this past year, we've increased that grade from a C to a B. Now, when you take a look at progress, what progress is measuring is, are we able to see growth in students? Are we able to get them from point A to B? No matter how they enter our doors, are they showing growth? And the state measures this in 5 different ways. And the highest grade you can get is an A. And Strongsville City Schools earned straight A's in every category for growth. So much that the state of Ohio recognized not only the district, but recognized Strongsville Middle School. And as you take a look, 608 school districts in the entire state of Ohio, we were one of 48 that received this recognition for the amount of growth we're seeing in our students. So some of the things that we've worked on, a few years ago, George and I and our former board president, we traveled to Chicago and we met with Moody's, who's a financial rating group, and we presented to them our financial outlook for the future. They improved our financial rating from a AA3 to a AA2. That means we were more attractive to investors, and we went out and refinanced our bond. Just like you may go and refinance your house for a lesser rate, we refinanced a portion of that bond that we passed in 2012, and what that means is that we are going to reduce the principal that we have to pay on that bond by $2 million, and what that means for you. Thank you, Mayor. And what that means for the taxpayer is that is a direct savings to the taxpayers of Strongsville based on that savings that we were able to provide. The other thing that we did, and this is a credit to George and his team, George came in 5 years ago, as you can see, so just by changing how we invest our funds, we are seeing an annual increase in revenue based on investments of almost $700,000 a year. We switched to a self-insured health care plan a few years ago. If we wouldn't have shifted and switched, we would be spending $1.8 million more than we are now. We went through this summer and said, what if we joined a consortium? What if we joined other similar school districts and put together all of our medical insurance costs? Could we save some money? And so we did that this summer, and we saved, as you can see here, approximately $300,000 for the district in one-time savings, and $200,000 that we'll see in an annual savings. But what it's nice to see is the recognition from national groups and local groups. So as you can see, George and his team, for the 4th consecutive year, have received the Meritorious Budget Award. And this last one is very special, I know, to George and the district. The Auditor Award with Distinction. Only 4% of all government agencies in Ohio get that, and we're one of those places because of George and his team's hard work. So, one of the things that we're seeing in our school district is a significant increase in the diversity of our students. We have 261 students that are learning English as a second language. Of that, 34 different languages are spoken in our schools. Some students that speak no English. And so our work is to how do we support those, and how do we support students that maybe a traditional school is not for them. And that's why a few years ago we created various online platforms where we have a number of our students attending Strongsville City Schools, whether at home or in school or as a hybrid, through an online platform. We have almost 1,000 students who are delivered gifted services every day, 715 learners who require special education supports and services, and we have nearly 1,000 students that qualify for free and reduced lunch. What we started to do is develop our next strategic plan. So as I shared with you, our Strong Skills 2020 plan is ending. This is where we need to partner for what is Strongsville City Schools going to look like in the next 3 to 5 years. So what focus means is what do we expect out of our school district in terms of their facilities, specifically in terms of technology and safety and buildings and grounds. When we look at opportunities, what type of coursework do we want to have? Extracurriculars, clubs, activities, and athletics. In curriculum, what kind of course pathways do we want to have, whether it be honors, advanced placement, counseling, gifted or special education services, as well as career technical education and technology. When we think about opportunities we want to see in our district over the next 3 to 5 years, what student-centered instruction, for universally designed learning, well, how does that student-centered instruction look? What teaching practices do we want to see in our classrooms, and how are we assessing to making sure that our students are achieving and growing? And what does success look like, whether that be financially, community partnerships, or the future for our students?
So if there's some things that you've seen in this episode that spark your interest and you weren't able to join us in person or follow us on the live stream, click on the link below to see the full presentation. If you're interested in joining us in our work to build a focus for our future, please let us know at any time. As always, thanks for watching, and go make it a great Mustang week.